Hello fellow readers, and welcome to All Books Book Reviews, where I share my book reviews and book recommendations on the first and third Fridays of each month. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back, glad to have you. And if you're brand new, thank you so much for stopping in. I really do appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe for notifications so you don't miss a single review. And if you enjoy this, give it a thumbs up, and I would love to hear from you in the comments. We're going to be looking at one of my favorite books. I have a lot of favorites, but this one's up there, and it's also by one of my favorite authors, so I'm really excited to share this one with you. Uprising is by Margaret Peterson Haddix. She has the Shadow Children series, and there's Running Out of Time and the Palace Chronicles. Uprising was published September 2007. It has 346 pages, 36 chapters, and we're looking at 10 pages per chapter. So we're looking at about 5 hours reading time, give or take your personal reading speed. And this will fit under historical fiction and young adults, or YA genres. Around her, the workers were screaming out prayers and curses. She herself was sobbing tearlessly. Her only prayer was still, "I don't want to die. Oh please, God, don't let me die," she thought. "I've never even had the chance to live." Bella, newly arrived in New York from Italy, gets a job at the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory. There, along with hundreds of other immigrants, she works long hours at a grueling job under terrible conditions. Yetta, a co-worker from Russia, has been crusading for a union, and when factory conditions worsen, she helps workers rise up in a strike. Wealthy Jane learns of the plight of the workers and becomes involved with their cause. Bella and Yetta are at work, and Jane is visiting the factory on March 25th, 1911, when a spark ignites some cloth and the building is engulfed in fire, leading to one of the worst workplace disasters ever. Margaret Peterson Haddix draws on extensive historical research to bring the tragedy of the Triangle Shirtwaist Fire to tangible life through her thrilling story of Bella, Yetta, and Jane. I have read this book numerous times. Just to give you an idea how long I've actually been reading from this author. Back in 4th grade, my teacher, Mr. Anderson, or Mr. A as we always called him, he read Among the Hidden to our class, which is book 1 of the Shadow Children series, and I discovered the suspense genre and how fun that can be and exciting, and I think that's really where I started loving suspense. First and foremost, the characters. Characters make a book, right? Well, these 3 main characters, Bella, Yetta, and Jane, absolutely made this story. They were well crafted, very unique and diverse. They made the perfect trio. You have Bella, who's very shy when she arrives in New York, has no idea what's going on, very dependent on those around her. Her story is very heartbreaking. Then we have bold Yetta, who is a spitfire. Quitting is not her vocabulary. She is not afraid to speak her mind. I just really admire her courage and bravery. She's not afraid to be the odd man out or to go against the masses. And lastly, we have Jane, who is really not happy with her life. She does enjoy the wealth to a degree, but it's mostly because she's never known any other way of life. But as her story progresses, she does find her own way in life. It's so easy to cheer them on. You feel their victories and their sorrows. Moving on, because I could talk about them forever. The research. Oh my goodness. If you're a history buff, then you will love how authentic and well researched this was. Never once are you pulled out of the setting. From the living conditions in the tenements, the factories, the picket lines where the strikers were beaten, arrested, all of it was so immersive. The writing style, there's a constant point of view change that worked fabulously. It was so good. As for dislikes, I don't have any. I literally loved everything about this book. So I'm going to give this 5 out of 5 stars. Very captivating and intriguing, and it draws you in to the point where you don't want to put this book down. This is one of those books that I will never stop rereading. It's always a joy to return to. It's not a lighthearted story at all. It's actually very tragic, but in the same breath, it's so rich in history, and it's important to study our history. That way we can ensure it doesn't happen again. I highly recommend this if you find this time era of New York, 1911, with all the garment worker strikes and all of that, you will love this. I highly recommend you give this a shot. You will not regret it. Also, if you have ever read the Dear America book, Hear My Sorrow by Deborah Hopkins, it's the same. It's the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory. Uprising is on Goodreads, so you can add it to your to-read list and follow the author on there. And you can find this anywhere books are sold and at your local library. So that will wrap up this review. I hope you enjoyed it and you got a new book recommendation out of it. Our next review will be on St. Patrick's Day, the 17th. Make sure you subscribe so you get the notification when the review goes live. So until then, happy reading!